running.
There is blood, gore, hence violent news. Just want to make sure my audio is okay.
Hey, welcome back to Digital Woods. Here we are today to do a 1,000-point game of Adeptus Mechanicus versus Necrons. This is going to be, as I possibly said, a 1,000-point game, so this is going to be the pregame show, where we go over the army lists and the actual game mode of the game. If you want to skip that and go right into the main game, we have a link down below in the description for you to check out. And without further ado, let's just get into the army lists. See you in a bit. Alright, so here's going to be my 999 points of Necron Battalion Detachment. I'm going to be running the Mefrit Dynasty for this one. So getting into my Warlord, it's going to be the Catacomb Command Barge, and he's going to be bringing along the Voltaic Staff and the Tesla Cannon. His Warlord trait is going to be Merciless Tyrant for this one. And on to some other HQs. I'll also be bringing a Lord, who's going to be bringing a Staff of Light, and he's also going to be, or more accurately, I'm going to be spending one of my command points during the start here to give him a other relic, and he's going to be bringing the Veil of Darkness. Next down the HQ train is going to be my Cryptek, who's also bringing a Staff of Light, as well as the Canoptic Cloak. Now on to troops. I'll be bringing 2 identical groups of 5 Immortals, all carrying Tesla carbines. After that is going to be a single group of 12 Necron warriors, who are also bringing along a Ghost Arc, but that's its own unit. Next on to my elite, which is going to be a Treyarch Stalker with his twin Heavy Gauss Cannon. And second to last is going to be a Catan Shard of the Deceiver, and his powers of the Catan are going to be Antimatter Meteor and Transdimensional Thunderbolt. And finally, just to fill my list for points-wise, is going to be a single group of Canoptic Scarabs, just 3 of them. And that's my army.
Alright folks, this is going to be my 1,000 points of Adeptus Mechanicus. I'm going to be running 2 separate detachments, which both are going to be from Mars. So let us start off with my Spearhead detachment. It is going to be led by Belius Cole, the man himself. For heavy supports, I've got 2 Orgrin Dune Crawlers. Both are going to be separate units of 1. They're both going to be kitted out exactly the same, with Icarus Arrays, Cognis Heavy Stubbers, and Broad Spectrum Data Tethers. For my third heavy support choice, I've got 2 Castellan Robots with 3 Heavy Phosphor Blasters on both. And finishing out this detachment, I've got a Data Smith. Data Smith got a bunch of points drops, so he's pretty cool now. He's going to be rocking his Power Fist and Gamma Pistol for his weapons. Moving on to my second detachment, it is a battalion detachment, once again from Mars, and it is going to be led by my warlord for this army, which is going to be a Dominus, and he is going to have himself his Volkite Blaster, Macro Pistol, and his Omni-Psi Axe. His warlord trait is going to be Chorister Mechanicus, which basically allows some special rolls when rolling for my Chance of the Omni-Psi. Moving on, he is also going to have the Relic of Autocaduceus of Acarian Lands for his relic. And my second HQ is going to be a Tech Priest Engine Seer. Servo arms are now free. Yay! Used to be 12 points for the mandatory take of basically a one-time use Power Fist. It's now free. For troop choices for this battalion, I have 3 groups of Skitarii Rangers. Only one group is going to have any upgrades. All 3 groups are 5-man teams, and the one with upgrades has 2 Arquebuses and an Omnispecs. Moving on from that, I've got a fast attack choice of a Ceridun Dragoon. I do believe I said that correctly. And he's going to have a Radium Giselle. And that is going to be my 1,000 points of Adeptus Mechanicus from Mars. Okay, and here we are deployed for our Narrow the Search Eternal War mission from the 2018 chapter approved book. It's It's one of the new missions, and this is the first time we're going to give it a try. The AdMech won the roll-off for deploying types, so went with I believe it is a hammer and anvil deployment. And Mike finished deploying first, so he's going to get that bonus for +1 to roll off to see who goes first, since we're still using those rules. In this particular game mode, however, there's one objective in the center of the board, which is directly underneath the center of this monolith. We're kind of running a little bit of fluff with that the monolith is the objective. It has been disabled from an bombardment, and the Necrons are attempting to recover it before the AdMech can steal it away.
Yes, and paint it gold.
Or whatever they would do with it.
Fiddle with it.
Basically. So the way this game mode particularly works, at the start, or at the end of every battle round, whoever has more models within a set range gets 1 victory point for controlling the center objective. On turn 1, that range is 18 inches, and then it decreases by 3 inches at the end of every turn, or battle round. Minimum of 3 inches at the most shrunk zone, in which case we're going to go with base contact to the monolith to count for being within 3 inches.
Yes.
In addition to all of that, there is Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and Linebreaker. So you can still score some points that way. There is also Acceptable Casualties. This ignores the sudden death rules, which means if a side is tabled, the game does not end.
No.
Continues until it is either timed out, or the side that with the remaining models technically has more points.
Yes.
There is also a null field in effect, which within 12 inches of the center objective, there are no invul saves allowed.
Yes.
So there's
That is that. That would be interesting. I've got a bunch of invuls. Tom has
a lot of invuls as well. So that 12-inch center is going to be an interesting territory to fight over.
Yes.
All right. Other than that, it is variable game length up to a maximum of 7 turns. And if you want to jump into the action, check out the link down below. Otherwise, this has been the pregame show, and we're going to get into the action.
Whee!